Welcome to Empowered with Elizabeth Namovsky. Many women are stuck in a dead-end job and know deep down inside that they really have more potential. But they have that fear of taking the next step, that negative talk in their head that exacerbates the fear of walking away from a paying job to becoming an entrepreneur. Pamela Ruebusch, CEO of TSI Group Inc, is here to share her experience of resilience, which is the key to entrepreneurship. So Pamela, welcome to Empowered with Elizabeth Namovsky.
Thanks for having me, Liz.
So I want to ask you a question. I know many women right now that are working for a corporation and, have these wonderful visions of becoming an entrepreneur, or have actually been offered a position to be taken off of a salary and start, working on a commission job. And that's really difficult for a lot of women to make that decision and move on to the next. So I know that you were in a job that was paying you a regular salary before you became an entrepreneur at 25. So how did you make that jump?
Well, Liz, it was really an easy decision because the job that I was in, the owner of the company wasn't doing so well. And one day the company went under. So at the time, my colleague and I just jumped in. We had no business plan. We weren't planning it, but we knew that there were clients to be served. And so we basically leaped into it and never looked back.
So what is the biggest challenge that you have to go through operating your own firm? Because I know that I've talked to you before, and you're always worrying about other people, that your employees, you're always worrying about their families. So what challenges do you go through?
Well, I think when you're an entrepreneur and you have your a boutique business like ourselves, it's really important to think on the business as well as working in it. One of the pitfalls that entrepreneurs do is that they work too much in the business. You have to know, it's almost like snorkeling. You have to be able to look up as well as look down as to where the business is going and make sure that you're taking care of the details along the way, but then bring in the right people that's going to help you expand and scale the business.
I think it's important that you said that, looking at details, but sometimes entrepreneurs are extremely myopic and they are so focused on picking a carpet or the color of the paint on the wall that they're missing, the big picture.
Yes. Well, I think you really need to make sure that you've got the right team in place. And when you have that, you make sure that you're not doing everything and stretched so thin. But that is a classic difficulty in being an entrepreneur.
I love the fact that you said, you have to surround yourself with really good people, because I don't know it all. I'm sure you don't know it all. We're really good at what we do, but we really need to have that team support us and surround us.
Yes. And my team, it's like a family. And I know what my strengths are, and I know what my weaknesses are. And I made sure that in building the team, operationally as well as from the business development side, that we were covering off on everything we needed to be. But we really think as one brain at TSI, which is really key to making sure that the right and the left hand knows what's happening.
And, let's take that a step further. Share with us the importance of having a good financial advisor to help you. Because I have a friend who is an entrepreneur, and she's creative and wonderful, but doesn't like the financial part of it and doesn't pay attention to it as well.
Well, being a small business owner, it's really important to have good financial advisors that you can trust and that let them do their job. Things like tax planning for small business. There's so many things that can be done as a small business. You have to listen to your advisors and make sure that you're implementing the right things. And you have to have key advisors beyond finance, your banker, your lawyer, to make sure that they're giving you good advice and that you trust them.
And that's important, trusting them, the people that you trust. I mean, it's got to be a mutual thing. It's a really good relationship, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So why is it important for companies to be aligned with their leadership teams? You look at different organizations and they basically start looking outside to try to align themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important to make sure that every employee from the senior leadership team on down have an understanding of what the culture is, what the business stands for, and that everybody is aligned. And when you have that, you get more empowerment and engagement of your team.